Hi, friends. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, April 24th, 2020. I'm so excited that it's Friday. You guys have been persevering all week with your lessons and your work, and it really shows. All right. So I know last week I was saying that you guys should be reading a book, and then I want you to tell me about it by the end of next week. Well, now it's time for me to hear about it. What book did you finish this week? And I'd love for you to write some suggestions in the comments. I finally finished my book, Such a Fun Age. It was really, really great. It took me a while because I was, busy with other things, recording lessons and making materials for you guys. But it was a really, really great book, and I really enjoyed it. And I get to discuss that book with my book club next week via Zoom, like a little virtual platform. So I want you guys to write any book suggestions that you have, and then your friends can see them and probably check them out or order them for themselves. So let's go ahead and get started. Take a few moments to pick out a focus goal or several, since you guys are pretty familiar with them all now. I want you to check in with yourself. I know earlier this week we were talking a lot about empathy and being able to relate to another person, but for today and yesterday, I just want you to go ahead and check in with yourself and make sure that you are ready to begin our lesson, our last lesson of the week. All right, let's look at our objectives. Today, we're going to be working on our spelling words. We're going to do a quick review of our vocab words. We're not going to do an activity today, just a quick review. And you will be able to define, identify, and use alliteration in a poem. I know that was a really fun thing for us to do in school. When we talked about alliteration, I know onomatopoeias were also really fun during school, and I hope your lesson was fun yesterday too. So I'm excited for us to get started. All right, let's go ahead and review our sight words. If you can, instead of us spelling it out together, if you have someone with you, like a parent or a sibling, I want them to turn the computer away from you. And I want you to get a piece of paper out and a pencil or a pen or any kind of writing utensil that you have. And they're going to tell you the words and you're going to spell them. Get it? Got it? All right, go ahead and pause the video and do that. When you're done, you can go ahead and press play. Did you do it? Did you pause it and do it? I hope you did. Remember, friends, we're still showing our hope values like honor and honesty. So I really hope that you did do it. All right. So let's just review our vocabulary words. What does drowsy mean? Pause the video and tell someone what drowsy means. Yeah, it means to be sleepy or to have a hard time staying awake. What is gasp? What does it mean when you gasp? Yeah, it's when you inhale quickly and you're like, oh, you're shocked, or you might be really tired, so you're gasping for air. What does vanish mean? Pause the video and tell someone. Yeah, vanish means to disappear. It means something goes away or someone goes away. And mend. What does mend mean? Yeah, mend means to repair or to fix something. All right, let's get started with our lesson. I will be able to define, identify, and use alliteration in a poem. Alliteration is when two or more nearby words have the same beginning sound. Remember, the beginning sound is the first sound that you hear in a word. So let's look at some examples. Carla went camping. We hear alliteration because we hear the k sound, and they're near each other. Carla, camping. They are similar sounds. Let's look at our next one. Pete the penguin likes pizza and pickles. What beginning sound do we keep hearing over and over again in that sentence? Yeah, we hear the p, we hear this P sound over and over again, and they're near each other, so it sounds cool. It's like Pete the penguin likes pizza and pickles. It's kind of like a tongue twister. All right, let's look and see if we can identify alliteration in our poem. I'm going to do this one first, and then we're going to do the next one together on our next slide. Rose cellar. The man on my corner pulls petals from rosebuds, preparing them perfectly out on the street. He sells them from buckets. My eyes are enchanted. Pink puddles of petals float over his feet. Where do you see examples of alliteration in this poem? I kept hearing the p sound. I heard pulls petals and preparing perfectly. I kept hearing those sounds, those beginning sounds over and over again. That's alliteration. I also heard pink puddles of petals. That's alliteration. We keep hearing the same beginning sound. Now, I don't want you to get confused. It's not just the P sound. It could be any beginning sound. I know that we're seeing a lot of examples with P being our beginning sound, but it can be any beginning sound. Let's do our next one together. All right, I'm going to, whoops, try to zoom in a little bit if I can. All right. This is called The Spoiled Brat. This is also by one of my favorite authors, Shel Silverstein, the one that I talked about yesterday for the poem book Where the Sidewalk Ends. This isn't from Where the Sidewalk Ends. I think it's from A Light in the Attic. All right, Spoiled Brat. The spoiled brat cut a hole in her hat. The spoiled brat put a coat on the cat. The spoiled brat got into a spat about whether a rodent's a mouse or a rat. The spoiled brat broke a bike with her bat. The spoiled brat told the policeman to scat. The spoiled brat said her sister was fat. Ooh, that's not nice. And sat on her birthday cake till it was flat. The spoiled brat cussed as she spat. The spoiled brat pulled the wings off of a gnat. The spoiled brat fell into a vat, got cooked up for dinner, and that was that. But in spite of the pepper, the salt and the sage, the onions and the garlic and the oil, nobody would touch a bite of that brat because she was so spoiled. Take a moment and reread it if you need to. I want you to take your finger and find all the examples of alliteration. Remember, alliteration is where you see or where you hear the same beginning sound nearby, kind of like Carla likes the cat or pink puddles of petals. Did you pause it and find all the examples of alliteration? All right, let's go over it together. All right, let's read the first line again. The spoiled brat cut a hole in her hat. Do you hear alliteration on this line? Yeah, we hear hole and hat and her. Hole in her hat. The spoiled brat put a coat on the cat. Do you hear any alliteration on line 2? I do too. Coat, and cat. The spoiled brat got into a spat. Do you hear any alliteration here? Say, oh no, we hear repetition, or we hear a rhyme, but that does not mean that it's alliteration. Remember, we're looking at beginning sounds, not ending sounds. If we said ending sounds, we'd be looking, oh yeah, that would be an ending sound, at, for brat and spat, but we're not. We're looking at beginning sounds. About whether a rodent's a mouse or a rat. Nope, I'm still just hearing rhymes. That means that the words have similar ending sounds, and we're looking for alliteration where they have the same beginning sound. The spoiled brat broke a bike with her bat. Do you hear alliteration on stanza 2, line 1? This is it right here. Remember, stanzas are groups of lines. So that was stanza 1. This is stanza 2. Do you hear any alliteration on stanza 2, line 1? I do too. Brat, broke, bike, bat. They all have what beginning sound? B. They do. The spoiled brat told the policeman to scat. Do you hear any alliteration on that line? No, me either. The spoiled brat said her sister was fat. Nope, I'm just hearing rhyming. Remember, at, those are ending sounds. We're not looking for ending sounds. We're only looking for beginning sounds when we're looking for alliteration. And sat on her birthday cake till it was flat. I'm still hearing rhyming, sat, flat. Those are ending sounds that are the same, not beginning sounds. The spoiled brat, she cussed and she spat. Any alliteration? Nope, just rhyming. The spoiled brat pulled the wings off a gnat. Alliteration on stanza 3, line 2? Nope. Let's look at stanza 3, line 3. The spoiled brat fell into a vat. Nope. Got cooked up for dinner and that was that. But in spite of the pepper, the salt, and the sage, did we hear any alliteration there? Did you? I heard salt, sage. What beginning sound did we hear again? Yeah, we heard the salt, sage, and they were nearby each other, so we know it's alliteration. Remember, we're looking for beginning sounds for alliteration. The onions and the garlic and the oil, nobody would touch a bite of that brat. Ooh, I heard alliteration again. A bite of that brat because she was so spoiled. Did you get them all right? If you did, give yourself a roller coaster chair. Get ready, go. Woo, woo, ah. All right, let's keep going. So what, friends, is alliteration? What is alliteration? We know, let me fix this back. We know that alliteration is when we have two words with the same beginning sound, two or more words with the same beginning sound that are near each other. All right? Now, again, there's no guided practice today. Make sure you complete your PDN, your Please Do Now. That's gonna help you prepare for your MAP test. Even though we're not going back to school this year, it is important that you practice and get ready for next year when we are able to come back. And make sure you complete your exit ticket when you're done. Feel free to log into Lexia or read a story for 30 minutes by yourself or with someone in your home. All right, friends, have a great weekend. See you next week.